Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Project Bring Me to Life, waking up to our divine life purpose. We're going to kick it off over to Ashton Robertson for our meditation/intention setting now. So, Ashton, whenever you are ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hello. Good to be with all of you and set the opening meditation and set the ground for the energy for the podcast. I'm Ashton, and I guess before I'll speak a little bit about meditation, you can find a link on the website in the What Is section under meditation. Read a little bit more about meditation if you're brand new to it or you want some more information about it. For me, meditation is simply being in the present moment, shifting your awareness from your thinking mind into your feeling-based awareness through your breath and through just calming yourself down. We're just going to do a short meditation here for you and bring us all together. So if you will, close your eyes, take a deep breath. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, nowhere to be, except here. You're exactly where you need to be at this exact moment. First thing we're going to do is going to bring our attention and awareness inward and allow ourselves to feel everything that we've been feeling, everything that is under the surface that needs to come out. Take some deep breaths. Bring your attention into your physical heart space, into your heart center. Ground your attention into your heart. And from here, you simply just allow, continue to breathe, continue to focus, continue to have your attention in your heart center. And with your breath, every breath we expand our feelings. We feel everything. We don't deny any feelings. Let it all bottle up. Simply surrender to your own soul. Now I'm going to send everyone some energy through your heart. They'll be open to receive. And we're going to activate everyone that's listening and everyone that will ever listen. We're going to activate your divine blueprint. Your body relaxes, your cells relax, your DNA starts to unwind and open. And you can hear your soul frequency through your heart, in your mind. Shift your awareness and harmonize if you have an overactive mind. Continue to ground yourself, feeling all the way down to your toes. Now we feel love in front of us, love behind us, love to the left of us, love to the right of us, love below us, love above us, love within us, and love without us. Thank you for joining us. Continue to breathe, feeling your heart center, feeling all of your emotions, allowing them all to just float by and ground into your heart, feeling joy, bliss, ecstasy, let it pour in. And I thank you very much for being a part of this. And I'm going to give it back over to Sela. Thank you.
Great. That was really good. Thank you, Ashton.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Well, my name is Selaman, or you may call me Christopher Samuel, or anything that resonates, really. Nick Melnicki is our usual co-host, but his computer is down for the week. So with us for this week is Shantastic. And Shannon, if you want to say hello, go ahead and unmute yourself. And everybody, hello.
Hi guys. I don't know if I'm muted. I think so.
Yeah, thank you for filling in for Nick Melnicki this week.
I am excited.
Me too. All right. So if you haven't already done so, you should go to projectbringmetolife.com if you are not there already. Under the Home tab, we have a live chat room. So if you want to chat with us, send in some questions, whatever, go ahead and do that. projectbringmetolife.com. We have many other interactive things going on there. So I don't know how somebody got that link, but if you do join the Google Hangout, I'm going to mute you. Don't unmute yourself. I guess we could do questions that way. I have never had anybody join, so that is unique. Before we introduce our very, very amazing guest for this episode, we wanted to go ahead and give you guys a few updates about what we're doing at Project Bring Me to Life. For the website, we have 3 new musicians. Excuse me. Breathe. Thank you, Ashton. A Sentient. He's the featured musician on the front page. And his podcast is on 11/11 next month. Item Lab, if you have or haven't heard of Item Lab, you should check out his page and his music. And also Option 22, a new flow artist, Brittany Brown, who is a featured artist. We have a new writer, Andrew, I'm not sure how to say his last name, Lysot. He is a featured writer, and Kate Hill. Yeah, if you would like to be a part of Project Bring Me to Life, if you want one of your pages up here, there's a sign-up page. So it's under the Home tab, I believe. Is it under the Home tab, Shannon?
I believe so. Yeah. No, actually, the sign-up page is under the contact section, and there is a place for you to put all your information that we would need to add you to the page.
Beautiful. We do have a new video of the week, which actually just got released at 8 o'clock p.m. About 9 minutes ago, and it's Uche, or Cosmic Village, and Fistfight Lullaby just released his new music video for her. That is the video of the week, so check that out at the home page, projectbringmelife.com. We have a new sound of the week, which is a Finding Inner Peace guided meditation by meditainment.com. Check that out. And the giveaway for November, the first Tuesday in November, is a staff or a walking stick, and last week everybody chose the crooked style of stick, so that's pretty awesome. Thanks everybody who voted for that. And this week you get to vote on a type of finish that you want, so basically what color you want, and that's on the home page as well, and you can vote there for that. And also we do have the What Is pages. Ashton just wrote the meditation one for that. Check that out under the What Is tab. Sweet. So if you
actually,
so go ahead.
I'm just saying I'm actually updating the page for the live podcast viewer. If anybody is watching and they're not part of the chat room because it didn't seem to load on some pages, I'm fixing that right now so you can watch us live and chat with us.
Cool. So should they refresh it then?
If they tried to go to the website and they couldn't get to the chat and the video, then yeah, they should refresh because it was still set to Yogi Magic, which was last week.
Okay. So if you are there, just refresh the page. And we thank you for your understanding and your patience and everything else that you provide for this earth, because we love you. Yeah. Also, if you want to help us grow and expand, if you want to help us improve the website, there is a donate button at the top right of all the pages. Just click that donate button, and it'll help us do a lot of things to the website. And we're working really hard on improving Project Bring Me Life and adding more and more people. And we have a lot of really awesome projects that we're doing. So if you want to support with green energy, there is a donate button for that. So our guest for today's podcast is Salina Defleur. She is a practicing Druid Buddhist, and she enjoys serving both communities. She serves as the Druid High Priestess for the Order of the Gryphon and the Sacred Chalice communities in Vermont, United States, and the UK. So check out her profile at projectbringmelife.com. She will also be doing a live card reading, and that will be near the end. So stick around for that, and she's also going to give away a full card reading to one of the lucky audience members. So please stay tuned for that, and welcome to Project Bring Me Life, Salina.
Hi, thanks so much for having me tonight.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Let's start it off. I did have some questions, and basically I want to start asking people, the very first thing I want to ask them is about who they are, where they come from, and what their purpose is here, and that can mean many things, but how do you feel about that?
Who am I? I would definitely say the best job and role that I have is as a mom. I am the mom of 2 amazing daughters, and they are absolutely the apple of my eye, if you will. Beyond and above that, as far as defining myself, I am a high priestess, and I am in league with Avalon, which means that I am specifically connected to the Order of the Lady of the Lake, which is based out of Avalon in the UK, which is a physical location of Glastonbury in the country of England. And I am currently practicing here in the U.S. I serve my own order, which is the Order of the Gryphon, for Vermont, New Hampshire, and the United States. And then I teach and do public workshops as well on spirituality and healing. So, short answer, I would say that I'm a priestess and a healer, and both of those things require you to be a mother in a lot of ways. So yeah. I think that that's kind of how that flows in.
Beautiful. Well, we really do appreciate you being on the show, and I can't thank you enough.
I'm so excited to be here. I'm really excited to have all of you taking place and having this take place with all of you, with Shannon and Ashton and you, and it's just very special. So I'm excited to be here and to support Project Bring Me to Life.
Sweet. Thank you. So one of the things that you wanted to talk about on today's show was the Wheel of the Year. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're coming on to the Festival of Samhain, and Samhain takes place on October 31st and rolls into dawn on November 1st for the Holy Day of the Dead. And this is an extremely important holiday in the turning of the year. It represents, for lack of a better term, the pagan New Year. Certainly witches, pagans, shaman alike, goddess-worshipping cultures take this time of the year specifically to really review the past year that we've had, celebrate our triumphs, and let go of the things that were difficult for us. And so there is the tradition of jumping the fire, or a flaming broom, and both traditions, once you do that, once you jump that broom, you are reborn by a fire. It's baptism by fire, if you will, and your karma is completely cleansed. It's released at that time. So this is an extremely important holiday for many people, and coming out of Mercury in retrograde in just shy of 60 hours, a solar eclipse in just about 40 hours, we've had one heck of an October. And so it is,
say that again.
even it is even more important this year to really recognize the process of what Samhain is and how we can celebrate it. This is also the time where the God figure turns into the wise man, and where the goddess figure turns into the crone. And so this is a slowing down for us. And as a people, we are really starting to relax and come into the quiet time of the year, where we are contemplating where and what we would like to do going forward. And so this is a time for a lot of writing, a lot of reflection, a lot of prayer, connection to Source and to Gaia. And it's a really important time of the year because we also recognize and honor all of our sacred dead, all of the people that we've lost over the course of the year that are important to us and have passed on. And so it's an opportunity for us to really recognize their space and place in our hearts and in our souls now, and also then to help them through prayer to go forward into their next space towards incarnation. And the next space we go after this, because that's usually the first question everybody asks, so where do we go from here? We go to the winter solstice, and that is the shortest day of the year. And we go into that holiday with the hope to bring light into the darkness that night through our celebration, through our joy. It's a very happy holiday. And then right after that celebration at winter solstice, we go into an extremely quiet time. Absolutely nothing happens. And one of the reasons why this is very important to mention is because our busy lives now require us to be constantly logging onto our phones and connecting to our computers and all of these wonderful social media sites. And we are starting to lose that opportunity to really take a moment and reflect on what we have and where we're going. And that's really what this time of the year is for. So it's a great time to start some quiet projects, but it's not really a manifestation time. This is really a time of reflection and creativity and planning.
Kind of like the leaves are changing, so everybody else is changing too before they go into hibernation.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It gives us one last vibrant boost of color and hope. My girls have been collecting the leaves and making wreaths out of them and doing all sorts of great art projects with them. And it's a wonderful opportunity to get outside right now and kind of grasp that last moment of energy that we have.
It's really important too, because I've been trying to do like a lot of projects and all that stuff, but it seems so nice to just think about settling down and relaxing for a while and thinking about like what we want to do next. So it's just a really good thing. So from winter solstice we go to Mblock, and that is Groundhog Day, February 2nd. And this is the ancient festival of the bringing of life, which I thought was important to mention. Bringing of life. I like that a lot.
It is your holiday, if you will. And the reason for that is because initially, if you are a non-deity driven person, if you prefer to be more scientific in your process, this would be your Big Bang Theory holiday. It is when all things, all life start, and the microcosm of the moment. And the divine goddess and the divine god come together in that microcosm, and they just start to think. And they start to think and emerge just quickly. And as all things do in life, the faster you think, the more things start to manifest. And the more things manifest, the more intuition there is. The more intuition there is, the more action there is. And so the build from Mblock goes right into spring equinox, which is March 21st. And that day is the day when the goddess and the god come into their maiden and stag form. And so it's a really beautiful time of the year. That's when everything starts really popping. And the energy and the fruition of projects really start jumping. and start blooming, if you will, right along with all those cute bunnies and flowers and things that we see as symbols of fertility and life and the bringing of the light to coming back into a time of growing. And so when people ask me, how do I plan for my year? How do I plan for projects? I always tell them to really recognize at what point of the year you're in. You know, if you really want to start a business and you want to start to build capital and you want to start to build investment, it's going to be best for you to start your inertia towards those things going into the springtime. And then really building that process during the summer and the early fall. This time of the year is really for that quiet and that resting. And so it's really important that we take those moments and those time periods into account so that we can be most effective. I know that Ashton and Shannon are going to talk about the moon and the planets a little bit too, and where they are and how they're interacting in the wheel of the year can certainly send things all afray and aflutter, as we've more than seen this October with 2 eclipses and retrogrades left and right. The solar flares have been acting up incredibly and have been really affecting a lot of people's energy. And knowing where those things are happening during the year, that's really important to keep that in tune with the pace.
Yeah, we do have a solar flare update coming on later, so really excited about that. Yeah, and I know you use tarot a lot, and you're gonna do a card reading near the end and give one away to someone in the audience.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the tarot, like why it's important and how it can help us.
Sure. So the tarot and divination in general, runes, card readings, even some forms of channeling, all of these types of things are incredibly important in helping us plan and guide our lives. And lots of people have different approaches to reading the tarot and doing divinational readings. I do 17 different forms of divination, including everything from flowers to tea to birth charts and the Mayan astrology. And so I definitely use tarot and runic readings as a directional concept. For me, I like to think of the tarot as a map. It gives you the opportunity to look at a map, and when people say, well, do I really need to see a reader for that? Well, sometimes no. Sometimes you can read your own map. And sometimes somebody can have some extra knowledge about what is going on through their interpretation of that map. And so a lot of times when people come to me for readings, I will give them this analogy of the map and tell them that I'm going to give them the opportunity to get off at this exit or this exit. There might be construction here. There might be, a roadblock here. And I'm able to translate that map in a way that you might not see it. Maybe it's because I can see that plane and that energetic sphere. Maybe it's because I have some insight into how the signals or the signs should be read. And so it's something that anybody can learn. I believe that anybody can learn to read the tarot and anybody can learn to read runes, and that they can use them very effectively in their own lives to choose daily cards or support, as Ashton was doing the meditation, to support a meditation or a prayer source. But it also really gives us kind of like a check-in on where we have been coming from to the past, where we are right now, and where we're going with the future.
Beautiful. And for this, I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. Lately I've been really depressed. And
okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the attunement that I've been having, and during the retrograde as well. Maybe it's both together. Is there any specific things that you do during Mercury retrograde that involves tarot?
That's an excellent question. Yes. Specifically for myself, I have a tendency to, during Mercury in retrograde, choose a reading a week. So every week I'm pulling 3 cards for myself, kind of giving myself a check-in with the 3 ethereal parts of my body. So in a 3-card reading, you can do that past, present, and future. You can also, ahead of time, choose those 3 stations as an opportunity to look at the 3 parts of your ethereal being. I believe that each person has 4 parts of their being. They have their physical being, they have their spiritual being, they have their emotional being, and they have their mental being. And so when we look at the 3 parts of the ethereal beings, you can choose cards for each of those beings. So you can choose a card for your mind, you can choose a card for your heart, you can choose a card for your soul or your spirit being. And this can be very effective during the weekly check-ins, because it allows us to really connect to what our beings need and what our mind might need, what our heart might need.
I've used my cards a lot during Mercury retrograde. They've helped me get through some really intense experiences. I think that cards are really good for visual learners, because everybody learns a lot differently, and people who are technically visual learners, I think they need that picture almost to get their to confirm their intuition for them, because everyone has an intuition, but when you have like the cards give you that visual confirmation, it's like, oh, the universe is really telling me this is happening or something's coming, and it's like a nice sign pretty much from the guides.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Shannon. I think that but whether it's as a visual learner or just as the ability to really say, you know what, I'm not lying to myself right now, because we have a tendency to spin these thoughts. You know, we're perpetually motivated by media, we're perpetually motivated by advertising and by product placement, that we are supposed to be all of these things. And when we do a reading like this, it really strips that out. It really takes those things away, and it gives us the raw reflection of ourselves and what we really need in that moment. So I agree with you completely.
I'm not very versed in tarot reading, but I enjoy getting readings, and I've done it a few times, and it sort of like kind of channels through you. And I believe you did want to talk a little bit about channeling, or was it divining that you said?
Yep. So there are different types of different types of, or forms of divination, and lots of people channel in different ways. I've watched a couple of your segments on the Project Divinity Life podcast in the past with some really amazing channelers that you've had. For me, I have the tendency to receive message, whether it's angel or goddess related, sometimes when I'm doing the readings directly, and sometimes it's in a separate connection or community. I just recently did a set of channelings with the Arcturians, the Starseed family, and that was a very powerful channeling experience for me. There were lots of crazy things that happened both vibrationally and with the electronics, all sorts of recorded sounds and energies that were coming in during that channeling, and so that's a very powerful set of experiences. And I think that is a form of divination or expression of message that certain people need, that type of confirmation or that type of guidance coming in from the other side to help them feel like they're connecting with their spirit beings. But I don't necessarily consider channeling something that everyone should do. I think that that's something that works for some folks and then might be just over the top for other folks. So I think that you can enjoy divination and not necessarily gravitate towards channeling.
Yeah, for sure. I know I personally like channeling, and I've been working a lot with Archangel Michael. Well, mostly Archangel Michael and a few others, but is there any specific angels that you work with the most?
I would say I definitely have a very deep connection to Archangel Michael. I would also say that I have had very powerful communication from Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Uriel. both very powerful angels, and specifically for me, it's not something that I call in directly, like I don't sit and attempt to channel. For me, it's really that it just happens, like it just starts happening, and usually spontaneously. If I have somebody who's come to me and requested a channeling specifically, then I will open myself as a channel and see who arrives. But those would be the three that would most typically come to give me direct message.
Wonderful. I just want to read this comment out to you. Somebody said that Salina holds a special place in my heart, no doubt about it. So just wanted to send you that love.
Yeah, I was smiling about that too.
That's really beautiful.
I'm so glad people are interacting and coming onto the chat room. That's so awesome. We have more than 4 people too.
Yeah, so please get involved with us and interact with us. We really, really do appreciate it, and we're trying to bring as many opportunities for that as possible. So, Salina, I just wanted to, I guess, we got about 5 more minutes for this interview, and so one thing I was going to ask you was about the Order of the Gryphon and/or Avalon. I was curious to understand that a little bit more.
In 5 minutes or less. All right.
Yeah, right? Try to explain that from
Can you just sum up that whole Avalon thing? I mean, how did Monty Python put it? Why should I give myself an allegiance to some watery tart with a sword? I think that basically sums it up. I think everyone's pretty familiar with the King Arthur legends and the idea of Merlin and the idea of the Round Table and the idea of the Lady of the Lake presenting Arthur with the Sword of Truth. Lots of people have heard of the Da Vinci Code. That's certainly another one, more contemporary, that's kind of like traveled back through now and gave a lot of press to Avalon and to the idea of the Sacred Chalice. And the Holy Sacred Chalice is something that we believe is the most sacred symbol. We believe that it represents the holy divine feminine, and we are definitely dyadic and source-oriented. Avalon specifically prays to both the god and the goddess. So I serve both. There are certainly traditions that serve just one or the other, but for me, I serve both. We are a nature-based faith. No, we don't wear goatskin leggings. I have never killed anything I didn't.
Cute to pair though.
And I certainly don't believe in bloodletting for ritual in any capacity. I believe that blood is the least sacred essence. The most sacred essence that you can give from your body to the gods are your tears. It is when you are most honest with yourself. So Avalon also believes in that law and that order. So the Order of the Gryphon is my order. I was bestowed the order when I reached a High Priestess rank. I was given my High Priestess ordination in Glastonbury, the UK, i.e. Avalon. And I'm very honored to be able to sit on the High Council. So I'm thankful for that. I teach, right now I have 30 active students, and you can petition me for student process if that's something people are interested in. I also give workshops 4 times a year all over the country, and I attend the festival circuit as well and teach and do divination and readings on the festival circuit. My favorite festival this year was Rootwire. For lots of reasons, mostly because all you beautiful people were there.
Yeah, that's where we all met.
So, certainly a truly magical time.
Yeah. Definitely. It was quite a pleasure meeting you and experiencing Rootwire with you and being part of your workshop and your posse, I guess you could say.
You are my minstrel officially on the Rootwire sign-up. So not many people understand that Silmon is actually a very fine musician himself. But he was my traveling minstrel for the entire show, and I was very grateful for it. Shannon did an
that was
excellent
awesome.
job.
Yeah.
Shannon also did an excellent job serving me. She did a beautiful job supporting me through that process, and I was very grateful for all of her hard work and her effort through that process.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for being here, and if any of you out there have any questions for Salina, you can email us. If you're at the live chat, there's a little form below where you can send it. Otherwise, there is this Bring Me to Life project. It's confusing, I know, I'm sorry.
I tried to tell him to not do it that way. He already had it done.
Yeah, we'll figure out a better way, but for now, bring me to life project at gmail.com, and we'll choose one of your questions, and the first one that we choose will be the winner of the giveaway. So, you have a.
So I'm giving away a full reading, which is a 12-card reading. It's a complete spread. It's 3 cards for each of the parts of the self, and then a spread on where you will be going, or the direction that you will be going in. And it can be done in person, over the phone, on Skype, or Google Hangout. So however the recipient would enjoy that.
Wonderful. And so there's a few minutes for you to do that, and while you're coming up and thinking of your questions, we're going to go over... Sorry, I know I was going to give you a warning, but whenever Ashton's ready, we're going to go over to Ashton for his energy forecast. Unless he's not ready. Is he ready for that?
I think he's pretty much ready. But before I give it over to him, anyone that's sending in a question, I want to say that Salina's card readings are awesome. I actually met her through a couple of them, and they will definitely touch a place in your heart and do some magic for you. So I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Ashton while y'all think of questions.
Thank you, Shannon. That was really beautiful.
Hello.
Look at you, Charlie. Nice.
Space glasses on for the space weather. Where's that thing? The forecast is intense. It's storming out there right now.
It is.
So mainly I suggest getting in the eye of the storm. Mercury retrograde, there was just a solar eclipse, the changing of the season. I'm pretty much just proud of you guys for still being alive at this point. If your life has been turned upside down lately, you are not alone. I can tell you that for sure. We're going through now one of the most potent shifts in the last 10 years. The portal we are currently going through is all about review, release, and reintegration. Things from the past have been popping up everywhere, and life has been attempting to slow us down to look deeper into our own belief pattern, choices, and why we are here now. Most likely, you have been frustrated only to find out you are in the perfect place at the perfect time. Communication on all levels has been wonky. It's just starting to level out with Mercury turning direct on the 24th, but it's still a slow chug to say the least after that. One tip is to remain still, find solitude, deal with your stuff by accepting all you feel, even the super ugly feelings which you might want to hide from, because through acceptance comes transcendence, and I know I really love to dance. Hell yeah. So the best thing we can do right now is stay in the eye of that storm. Know really with your heart that all is happening for your greatest good, and huge portals are opening to allow your dreams to manifest in an even more direct way. We are leaving behind the past to find the new earth right here and right now. And what we can do is step away from all the madness. It's a perfect time to go into nature, find your center, And once you get into once you go back to your creations, you'll be even more into it and have even more creative energy in your tank. A friend of mine said, always trust your soul awareness, and you'll never be let down.
Excellent.
So just stay in your heart, keep breathing, know that if you're feeling really crazy, it's going to pass, and just accept that the universe is trying to slow you down right now.
Hmm.
And that's pretty much all I got for the space forecast there.
Sweet. Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you.
Ashton, I think that falls so perfectly in alignment with the earlier part of the conversation around what we're doing at this time of the year right now and what we need to be focusing on and how we need to be conscious that the whole planet, everything is slowing down, at least in the northern hemisphere, and is really pulling that energy into a quiet space. And I think that it has absolutely been wonky. So I think that was the perfect word for it.
I know, I was like, should I say wonky? Yeah.
Totally say wonky.
Thank you, that means a lot.
Cool. Thank you, Ashton.
You.
All right. Well, now I'm going to just do a what I call a space weather forecast, and then after that we're going to go over to Shannon. But right now I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Mercury retrograde. It ends on October 25th and goes direct again. You can see on the screen here that Mercury has gone into Scorpio now. So now Scorpio has Mercury, excuse me, Libra. So Scorpio was in Scorpio, or Mercury was in Scorpio, and then it went into Libra just a few days ago. So now Saturn is in Scorpio. Mars and Pluto is in Sagittarius. Neptune is in Aquarius. Uranus is in Pisces. Jupiter is in Virgo. Venus and Mercury are both in Libra. Salina, did you have anything that you wanted to add to the planetary alignments?
I think that the most important thing we want to just concentrate on right now is knowing that our planetary limits are our guides. So if they tell you to slow down, slow down. And with Jupiter being in Virgo, this is a lot of opportunity for organization and the ability to really stabilize where we're going. And what we really need to focus on in the next couple of months. And so that's a really important piece. All those Virgoians out there who love their organization, hand that out, pass that out to your friends, if you will, because this is a great time of the year to tidy house and organize so that you're not living in chaos, because we're going into that dark time, that quiet time. And so this is a great opportunity to use that punch of energy that Shannon was talking about, and Venus, use that Venus love and put some love into your home space.
Beautiful, thank you. So now I'm just going to do a solar flare update, continuing the space weather forecast. And worth noting is on October 18th we had 10 solar flares. October 19th we had 8 solar flares, and one was an X 1.10, and what that means is it was an extreme solar flare. They're not sure if it's Earth-directed yet, but we'll find that out in a few days. And that's from region 2192, and I'll explain what that means in just a bit. On October 20th, we actually had 15 solar flares, and 5 of them were moderate class, which is in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this for you right here, and this is the week looking at the sun here. This is Mercury here, the planet behind the sun. So just playing this, there's a few small solar flares, not much worth noting right now, but I think the 2192 region is over here on the left of the sun, Mercury behind the sun here. And as you said, the sun is very directly correlated with what's going on with us. For me personally, I think that was the X play right there. But I feel like the correlation is directly within our consciousness. I feel that the sun is our light. It is like kind of like connected to our gateway or our stargate within our pineal gland. And I feel that the center of the universe sends its energy through every other sun, and every black hole comes out. So what's going on with the sun is very directly related with what's going on inside of our own minds. So beyond that, it's coming up here towards the end, and I would like to show you the 2192 region after this is finished playing. And Mercury is now going back to the behind the sun there, so it'll be in alignment with Earth and the sun. So now I'm just going to move on to show you the active region, 2192. And what that means is it's a sunspot, and sunspots are basically like openings in the magnetic force of the sun, so there's a lot of energy that could come through. One person said it's kind of like here's 2192 right here, that big giant sunspot right there, and that's actually where all the solar flares are coming from. And we had about 30 plus of them in the last few days, so a lot is going on. So the sunspots are just cooler regions of the sun's surface, and that's there's an opening in the magnetic force to where its protons and ions can escape from the sun and actually go towards Earth, and it affects our satellites, it affects our magnetic force, and it affects us as well emotionally. So that is my space forecast for the week, and I'm going to hand it over to Shannon with her forecast.
Awesome. Thanks. It looks like the sun is doing a lot of really crazy things right now.
For sure.
But actually, so is the moon, because this week and the 23rd and the 24th, depending on where you're at, there's actually a solar eclipse, because the moon is going in between the sun and the earth. We're currently in a waning crescent of about 3%, and that's sometimes called the old moon as well. And this pretty much means that part of the moon, but not all of it, like a little less than half of it, is being illuminated by the sun right now. And there's usually about 8 phases in the moon. There actually is 8 phases. But it takes about 27 days to orbit the Earth. So the reason we only get a solar eclipse sometimes is because the moon's actually tilted by about 5%. So the way we get a solar eclipse is when it goes past the sun at just the right moment, and it has to be at exactly a new moon, or we wouldn't see the illumination not happen at all. So I really don't have too much else, I don't think. So I can hand it over to CeeLo if he's ready.
Cool. Yeah, sure, I am. Thank you for the forecast. And Salina, if you want to go ahead and jump back on here. I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
There I am. I was just going to say, Shannon, you're absolutely right. That exact moment is so critical, and right now is a great time to set out manifestation intention with this new moon, especially because of the eclipse, because it magnifies that intention extremely. So if there's something you've really been wishing for or hoping for or looking to manifest in your life, this is definitely the new moon to do it with, because it's the last solar eclipse of the year, and it's a wonderful time to set that intention out on that vibration and really let it penetrate deep into the universe.
I do want to say, though, if you're going to plan to watch the solar eclipse, definitely shield your eyes correctly. I meant to say that during my blurb, because it's definitely important to watch it correctly. And going out into nature is a good way to do this. I was reading earlier that watching it through the trees and stuff is a good thing. So maybe you should go meditate and watch your solar eclipse and get in the zone.
Nice. So before I wanted to read some of the questions, I wanted to see if you would do the card reading so people can see how potent they are.
Sure.
Wonderful.
So I have chosen 3 cards. The first card that I chose is either for your past or for your mind. So you can choose if you're doing the 3 parts of the ethereal self. It's going to be mind, heart, soul. And if you are choosing past, present, or future. So the first card set that I chose is the Dorian Virtue deck for the angel cards. And I chose the card Cut Your Cord. So for all those visual lovers out there, I hope you can see it.
Looks like Michael.
Archangel Michael.
It is the Archangel Michael. Ask the Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments and fear that stems from your old relationships or destructive patterns. The negativities that are connected to your past relationships are interfering with your current situations or the situation you are inquiring about. It is time for you to remove that toxic energy and ask the Archangel Michael to help you release this from your fear. So this is a really important card, whether it's in the mind or in the past, because this allows us to really give ourselves permission to let go of the old stereotypes and the old hang-ups and the old ways of thinking that we have been working on, that programming, if you will. It's time to release that, let it go. This card is wonderful and right in time with Samhain and the release of our karmic pain and loss for the last year. So this is a really beautiful card. If you chose this section for your mind, this is really an opportunity for you to get in there and think about that programming and what you need to change for yourself and which way you're going. Put yourself in the right frame of mind and cut your cord. So if you are going into the present with me, or you are going into your heart space or your heart chakra, for this section, this station, I chose the Kuan Yin Oracle to read from. This is a beautiful oracle and one of my favorites. And the card that I chose for tonight is the Blessings of the Moon Maiden. And the blessings of the Moon Maiden is that she is here with you, and auspicious tidings of prosperity and abundance are here for you now. The universe seeks to replenish and restore the creations through you. You are allowing yourself to receive beyond what you thought was possible. You are able to open your heart chakra and give yourself gratitude now. Allow the blessings of the future and good fortune to come with you. The Maiden of the Moon, Kuan Yin, tells you to allow your life to go forth and flow now. This is a beautiful card for your heart chakra. It really is a wonderful message of the abundance of the heart and the abundance of love in our lives and how important it is to embrace that love in our life. And from all of the solar reports and the moon reports and the astrological reports that we've heard tonight, it is so important to really embrace that abundance of love in your heart chakra, because that love light is what is going to help fuel you through the transitions of the next few days and the next week. So as we move forward now into this new moon solar eclipse, and as we move out of Mercury in retrograde and into Samhain, it's going to be very important to keep that love light alive in our hearts. So that is also a beautiful representation for what's happening right now in the present. So the last card that I chose is for either the future or your spirit. And I chose from the Druid Animal Oracle. And the card I chose was the Hawk. And the Hawk represents the ability to see your life in a new perspective. Now that you have released yourself of all unnecessary baggage, you are connecting to your true ancestral roots. It is time that you allow yourself to calmly see the events that are going to happen next. You are part of the missing piece. You are going to bring the jigsaw puzzle together. You are sensing your roots, and you are feeling pride in the growing sense of nobility and stature in your life. Be prepared to fill yourself with inspiration. As the new day will dawn, you will be able to make your decisions with confidence.
Wow.
So This is a beautiful card for the future. Being able to make confident decisions comes from planning, organizing, setting our intention, taking that time to think and rest right now and focus on what we really want. And so as you go forward into the future, keep those things in mind, just like the hawk. The hawk will sit in the tree and watch the entire horizon. And then just as the rabbit or just as the mouse thinks that it's going to go, that's when the hawk launches. Not too soon, not too fast, but with direct and realistic planning. You also, if you chose this as your spirit card, as your soul card, this is an opportunity for you to embody and look for hawk-like signals in your lives. When you see hawks or ospreys flying, this is an opportunity for us to really be focusing on that energy and moving forward with fluid, proud confidence, but not arrogant. Hawks are never arrogant. They are confident, but they are not arrogant. So take good strength from your soul and know that you know who you are, and then go forward with that knowing and make good choices for yourself. And in doing this, you won't have any regrets.
I love this reading. It made me so happy, especially since there's been a lot of hawks around lately. And I love that you used all three of your decks to show the viewers the different decks that you have and the different sources you can tap into. So that's awesome.
Thank you so much. It was my honor. It was my honor to read for all of you tonight. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, definitely, me too. So now I just wanted to get into the guest questions. We have a few emails that I'll get into. And then we actually will have our first video question from Francine, so that will come up right after this. But our first question, and this is the winner of the reading, for she sent in the question first. Kahina asks, with all that is happening with Mercury in retrograde and these upcoming solar flares, what are some ways to stay grounded? Crystals, prayers, rituals, etc. Also, I love you.
Aw. Gryphon, I love you too. Thank you so much for your question. Blessings, my bright sister from the south. I'm so grateful for your presence always. This is a wonderful question. I think that the best way to do this is absolutely with all of those things. Yes, have some. Have prayer ritual, have meditation, eat good foods, eat the sacred foods, drink pomegranate juice, spinach, almonds. Make sure you are hydrating. Purified water, aloe water, coconut water, get it into you. Yes, have some. Oh, and mangoes. Definitely eat the mangoes. And
Mango pancakes are a thing. Did you know that?
Try and dial back the caffeine so that we're not quite so edgy. And then for crystals, I would definitely say chrysocolla, snowflake obsidian, jet, always excellent for grounding, turquoise. Definitely bring those things into your circle. Jade, definitely bring jade into your circle. And bring those things into your sleeping space. Bring them into your bath time or your shower. Don't be afraid to love your crystals in the water. You know, get them in there. Use mason jars. Fill your mason jars with water. Put crystals that are tumbled or fully polished, not raw stones, but tumbled or fully polished stones into that water, and then lay them out overnight or for a couple of days, and then drink that water, and that brings that stone energy right into you. That's particularly powerful for turquoise, malachite, rose quartz, and lapis. All four of those stones are excellent for stone water and for ingestion, and that's really going to help you ground and stabilize during this time.
I actually made some lapis water after you gave us that tip, and it like opened my third eye, and I had an interesting day. So I definitely second that motion.
Absolutely, absolutely, and especially if you're feeling really negative or down, as Philo had mentioned earlier in the podcast, a lot of people have been feeling that heaviness and the depression. Malachite water is incredibly good for that. So it will really help remove and flush that negativity out of you.
Malachite's awesome. Helps me a lot.
Yeah. Sweet. So now we're going to have Francine come on and ask you a few questions. If she'd like to do that, just go ahead and you got to unmute yourself.
Up at the top, sweetheart.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Yeah, happy
Francine.
birthday.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, so a question. I guess a good one would be, as a reader myself, I've been going to a lot of holistic fairs and festivals and have received read-ins from a lot of different people. And as a reader myself, I pretty much do know how to discern when to listen to somebody or not to. But being that I just got a couple of read-ins that I felt people were really in balance, how can you tell when, all right, I got a read-in that really irked me the wrong way. I didn't like what they were saying to me. Basically, they were telling me to take medication for being bipolar. And I'm on this holistic path. And it really kind of irked me to hear that somebody might tell me to take medication, especially when I find that I am making a huge breakthrough and have released a lot of, I'm absolutely in control of myself. So why would I take pharmaceutical drugs?
Sure.
And so I just want to know, how do you know when to listen to somebody?
I think that's a great question. I think, for the record, I will come on and say that I work with people who are both on a fully holistic path, i.e. they don't take any Western pharmaceuticals, and I do work with folks who are on Western pharmaceuticals. And I think that my answer fits both teams, and that is that you should trust what you know works for you. And so if the holistic path is working for you, and that is something that you and your naturopath and your acupuncturist and your nutritionist and everybody you're working with to keep you in balance is working for you, then you keep going with that process. And if your Western doctors and your Western teams are helping you stabilize and that's what's working for you, then I say go with that process. As far as how to trust a diviner or not, I would say work again with that same instinct. We know when we meet teachers and we meet folks out in the public realm that people are going to come at us with lots of different opinions and lots of different thoughts, and how one reader interprets the cards may be totally different. Sometimes I will have folks send me a reading that a reader gave them and say, I got the 3 of Cups and the 5 of Swords and the King of Cauldrons, and she said it was this, but it didn't resonate. And then I will give back a reading to them, and it will absolutely resonate. So again, I think that some of it is alchemical. You know, it's a natural Mobius that we are manipulating. So if it doesn't fit for you, keep searching for the answer that fits for you.
Yeah, I mean, I had to investigate the FBI her, and I found out that she was like a drug. She was an RN who ended up becoming a holistic practitioner. So maybe she was answering the question based upon, I get what you're saying right now, based upon her own experience. She was giving me the best advice that she had, but it really didn't align with me, and it kind of irked me, and I just kind of wondered also, because I've had bad readings before, and I am a reader myself, so I thought it might be a cool question to ask for the people that also are interested in receiving readings that are probably listening to your podcast right now, on how to be able to use their own discernment and how to pay attention to, you know, what people are saying, and be able to, like, check within themselves to see what the truth might be.
Sure. I think when we look at our breath, we most often are able to find our truth. And so I would go right back to where Ashton started us, and start with that meditation and start with that quiet moment and listen to yourself. And that is what I would tell anyone who came to me and wanted to work with me. And I would tell them to listen to themselves, because all of the truth, all of the universal truth is already inside of you. You are already part of the infinite fabric of the universe. And so that truth is within you, and you can access that within you. And if you need my support to help you do that, then I will be honored to support that. But I already believe that it's in you. And so each person who has a reaction to something that someone would say, I would say twofold. One, if your reaction is so vehement, then you already know that you're not going to want to work with that person further. And two, if it's that vehement, ask yourself why. You know, what is it within inside yourself? And this isn't something you need to answer right now because I know Salina needs to keep us moving. But, you know, ask yourself why it resonated or rubbed you the wrong way. Jeanette Winterson wrote a beautiful book called Written on the Body. And when I read it, I was completely, I had a horrible, visceral reaction to it. And the reason was because it was that wool sweater. It was too scratchy. It was too close. And now as I've grown and matured, from when I read it at 18 and I'm now 40, now that I've grown and matured as I've reread it, it doesn't scratch quite so hard. And so, you know, reflect on yourself and ask yourself those good questions. But if you're really against going forward with someone, then don't go forward. Right. Regardless of how credited they are. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're Deepak Chopra or Oprah or anybody.
Right, no, I get it. Absolutely. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah, thank you, Francine, for coming on and asking those questions.
Hey, Francine, I want to say happy early birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Francine.
Happy birthday, Francine.
I know it's tomorrow. It's excellent time, and thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Glad you got to join us.
For sure. So now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to get into the I Must Ask You a Question segment. So I think you all know what to do.
Mustache time.
Not the draw app. It's the effects. You want to use effects. Unless if you want to draw your own mustache, which is cool too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm getting this first.
Bonjour. Can I get you some spaghetti?
Oh, I love the crown there. That's awesome.
I had to do that first because it popped up. I'm trying there, guys.
It's all good. So,
awesome. I'm in headwear here. I'm moving. Oh, I gotta have the monocle. All right.
Cool.
A monocle and a mustache. I'm ready.
You look like, okay. Anyway.
You look like the Monopoly guy.
I was gonna say the peanut. The peanut.
That too.
So, if Salina, if you wanted to go first, if you had any questions, I like it when the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my question for everybody is, what are you reading and why? Who are you reading right now? Are you reading a book? Are you reading a journal? Are you dedicated to a blog post? What are you reading and why are you reading it?
Can I go first then? Okay.
Sure.
I am reading, well, I've been reading Aragon, and even though I've read the books already, I just, I'll open it up to a random page and read it because it just puts me in a really good place. But another book that I'm reading, actually Cricket sent it to me, and it's Return of the Bird Tribes.
Ooh, good one.
And it's by Ken Carey, or like translated by Ken Carey. But it's all about these ancestors who were living in peace, and there's warrior tribes, and it's really helping me understand like why the world became the way it became, and it's helped me to release a lot of things that I've held from past incarnations and whatnot, and it's a very high vibrational book with a lot of very ancient wisdom. So if you're looking for some ancient wisdom and kind of like a sacred Native American way, then Return of the Bird Tribes is definitely a good book to read. Thanks for the question. That's a good question.
Awesome.
Really good question. My book is currently upstairs in my other studio, but it's called Keys to Happiness, and I actually found it on a table outside of a store at a free book lift or whatever, and it was with like 4 other books that like one was like The Queen's Keys and one was actually called Shannon's Way, and like 4 other books right when I needed them. They all just were like laying there in perfect synchronicity for me. And I believe the book's actually by the Reader's Digest from like the 40s. And it's so funny because all the topics in it as I read them, and I don't get to read too much lately because we've been so busy and updating the website and everything keeps me super occupied. But like every time I read a chapter of it, it is like so synchronistic with what's going on in my life. It's crazy. And I actually looked up the book a while back to see if they had a new version of it, and they quit making the Reader's Digest books. And the last one that came out, all of this stuff was about making money and all kinds of stupid stuff. But like this really old version of it is all about like taking time to yourself and spending time with your family and getting to know God and the Spirit. And it's just really cool how back then that was the thing. And kind of sad now how the newer version is all about money.
I could not agree with you more.
Beautiful. So I have a question for both of you. And
Okay.
my question is what spirit, what animal spirit are you working with right now?
Right now, I would have to say that the animal spirit that I'm definitely working with the most would be my mouse. And I am working with the mouse because the mouse is very, very fastidious and really concentrating on protecting their family and their little den and their space and really loving that space and bringing in enough food. And so they don't waste any time. They get up and go. So I'm definitely working with my mouse energy right now, which is pretty humorous because my personal spirit animal, my totem animal, is actually a wolf, and I travel as a wolf most often, and am most connected as my spirit guide to my wolf. But right now I'm working in the present moment with my mouse. So that's my answer on that one.
Yay!
Nice. I guess mine would probably be, interesting enough, I have a spirit skunk. It's very black and white, obviously, and it sprays things like a skunk does. But the reason I think I'm working with him a lot is because I've been dealing with a lot of interesting energy coming at me lately. And when my skunk comes around, he's like reminding me when a good time to spray my emotional junk is and when to hold it in. Because he generally only sprays if he really, really feels threatened. And he doesn't just spray all the time. And I feel like I'm battling with keeping a lot of my emotional junk in rather than just spraying it all over everybody every time I see them, and like really just using it to like get out what it needs to get out. And I think it's kind of funny because Salina mentioned what her normal totem is. I think my other one's like a zebra because I like to run free, and they're both very black and white, but when I'm a zebra I see it as like a rainbow zebra. So the fact that I moved to my skunk, which is my other black and white spirit animal, really means that I might be trying to like put down some darkness and keep the light going in my life, and that's been going on like all retrograde. But it's finally like coming back to an end, and he's calming down.
All right.
Philemon, what about you? What
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
animal are you
say.
working with?
Hey, that was my question.
I was gonna ask you before I asked my question what your spirit animal was.
Dude, it was for a while. It was I was working with a horse, which kind of like why I had that's not why I had the mohawk, but it definitely helped. Which you can see here, horsey.
Which he painted.
Man. Yeah, I painted that. So if you want to buy it, 500. No, I'm just kidding. Man, I've been so distracted lately. I don't know if I've been focusing on any animal spirits. The last one was the horse, and the horses are just polar bear. Yeah, it is getting into winter, and I'm starting to focus more on the polar bear who goes into hibernation. Very protective of their kids and their den as well, in a different type of environment. They're so beautiful, and they're such good swimmers, and they just love the cold, and they love the snow, and they love to play and have fun. And And that's what I'm all about. I don't like Coca-Cola, and I don't like that Coca-Cola uses the polar bears for their Christmas stuff. So Coca-Cola, please stop that, because polar bears are much more than just marketing schemes. So
actually, I can maybe help you with that a little bit, because they actually donate 5% of their total profits. Not that I'm in love with Coca-Cola Company either, but they actually donate 5% of their total profits during the holiday season to protecting the polar bears and the polar bears space. So
really? Wow.
they do actually do that. That happened about 8 years ago, because National Wildlife Federation actually put a lot of pressure on them for that very reason. And so they actually donate that money to support the polar bears preservation. So that's, I agree with you. There are lots of companies that do exploit the animals, but this is this is one indication where we won. We won
Yeah.
polar bears.
At least they're doing something good for them then. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's just a good sign that our world is definitely kind of making that switch.
Shows what activism can do.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For
I like
sure.
how
So-
when Tilo switches animals, he's been doing paintings lately. And when he first came to me, at least with Project Bring Me to Life, he was painting an owl, and he had been following the owl. And then he went into his horse stage, and now he just did a horse, and he used a different kind of paint. And I'm really proud of him, because it's kind of a hard medium to just start with. And he did a horse, and I can't even do a horse. And now he just started a polar bear, and I could just feel his polar bear coming in. So I knew he had an animal. He's just being modest.
Yeah, it's okay. I just this is the owl painting.
Oh, I love him.
It actually kind of connects right there with the horse, and then now I'm working on the polar bear, who will go on top of the horse like that. So yeah, thank you. And Shannon, it's time for your question, my lady.
Okay, I must ask you both a question. What is your favorite holiday? Since she was talking about holidays and different things, what's your favorite holiday and why?
Nice. Let me think about that.
My favorite holiday is absolutely Beltane, which is May 1st in the Wheel of the Year. It is the sacred marriage of the gods and goddess, and it is the time of great coming together and sacred love blooming in the world. We say that we light the Beltane fires so that on no night love does not conquer all things. And so as we approach Samhain, now in a week, the southern hemisphere is actually going into Beltane. And so the two most important holidays are New Year and the sacred marriage of the gods correlate at the same time. So it will be, for the southern hemisphere, it will be Beltane on October 31st, November 1st. And for the northern hemisphere, it is Samhain and the Day of the Dead. So those are my favorites.
Awesome.
I was going to say my favorite holiday. Well, this is really interesting. I made a video blog the other day, and it was about Christopher Columbus. And basically, in the video, I was just asking for forgiveness for what happened with the Christopher Columbus experience when the white people or the Europeans came over and started, taking land from the Native Americans, or just claiming land that belongs to the entire world. And so I was asking for forgiveness in that video, and I think Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and a lot of people see Thanksgiving as something bad because of what happened with all of that, and let's celebrate these white people coming and taking everybody's land. I would like it to be seen as a forgiving moment, or a forgiving holiday, when people can come together and see past their differences, or see past being separate, and just show each other forgiveness, show each other love, and feed each other not only food for the physical body, but spiritual food, and good vibrations, and positive love, and hugs, and all that stuff. So I feel like that would be my favorite holiday. And again, please, everybody, forgive Christopher Columbus and everybody who's involved in that.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
I like those
Beautiful.
answers. Good job, guys. Good job.
Thank you. So just like the last thing was a shout out. So Salina, do you have any shout outs?
I do. I'd love to say hello and thank you and so many blessings to everybody who's watching and to all my sisters, especially in the South and all over the country who have been working and praying with me. I'm so thankful for all of you. I wish I could see you more. I am especially going to put out a special request that if you are against fracking and you are against the powerful damage that it can do to our beautiful Mother Gaia, I urge you to please go on Facebook and join the group called the Warriors Call. And it is the pagans that are united against fracking. Right now they are petitioning the UK government in both Ireland and England proper to do fracking near the sacred sites, including Stonehenge, the Tor, and Avesbury, all highly sacred circles. If they do this, the potential for the Chalice well, which is our sacred well that has been an ancient and sacred well for over 4,000 years, could be corrupted and destroyed. It is incredibly important that we stop fracking worldwide, and as global citizens we have a responsibility to do that. So please go out and go on Facebook if you're on Facebook and join the Warriors Call, the Pagans United Against Fracking group. Whether you're pagan or not, please check it out and stop and contact your legislators and people everywhere to stop fracking. So thank you so much for letting me put that little plug in, because it's a cause and a group that I really believe in and work ardently worldwide to stop fracking, because everyone deserves clean drinking water. Everyone.
Yeah.
So that's my shout out.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good one too, and you're really making us step our game up.
Thanks.
So, it was kind of funny seeing you be so serious with your mustache.
I am super serious with my mustache and monocle.
That's right.
So, okay, Shannon, did you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to first shout out to Nick Monicki, who isn't here, so I get to be co-host for a week. Good job, thanks. Sorry you can't be here, but hopefully you'll be back with us next week. Also, I want to shout out to Uche and Fistfight Lullaby for their video that they just dropped at 8 o'clock, and we have on the website, which means we got to premiere it, and I am super pumped about that, because that just makes me feel like we're doing good things, helping out our friends and other awesome people. And I want to give just a couple shout-outs real quick to Jacob and Cord and Ree and Elisa and a couple other people I was trying to chat with in the chat. And now I think I'm good. I'm going to let you go over to yourself now.
Cool. Thank you. I wanted to shout out to Kavita, who we met in Detroit last week, and she was really excited that she got to meet me in person. She was really pumped about it, and she wanted to take a picture with me, and it was the first time that happened. So
She was so excited. That was so cool.
Yeah, I was really excited. I was really pumped. I was like, oh, yeah, thank you. And it just it kind of makes you feel good when you know that you're a part of something good like this. You know, I wanted to shout out Ree too, because she's been really all about this this project Bring Me to Life, and she's really supportive of me and us and Ashton and Spaceship Earth and all that jazz. So appreciate it. And well, that's all I have for shout outs this week. So yeah. And I'd like to thank Salina for being part of this podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have all been amazing. And Kahina, if you're still on, I will contact you on Facebook. And thank you so much for sharing and promoting the podcast tonight and being here with us. And I will contact you to set up your reading through Facebook.
Real quick, I want to say personally, Salina, I don't know if I got to tell you this before or not, but I wanted to say thank you because you mentioned Rootwire being your favorite festival, and if it wasn't for you coming down here and seeing me before Rootwire, I actually wouldn't have got to ever be a part of Project Bring Me to Life. So that's pretty awesome, and I'm glad that you finally got one there.
Oh, I'm so grateful to have helped facilitate all of those beautiful meetings and connections, and I really just believe that this star family is growing and beautiful and strong, and that we are going forward into shepherding the light into everyone's life. And I know that you and Philemon and Ashton are doing that, and you all make me so proud, and I'm so grateful to be connecting with you and working with you every day. So I love you all.
Well, we are doing it. We are opening all the chakras.
Open all the chakras!
Totally opening all the chakras. We hope we have opened them for everybody.
That's funny. We actually on the quote.
Hilarious.
Salina, that quote is for the chakra page, isn't it? Or
yeah, my What Is Chakras, which is on the website, guys. If you don't know what we're talking about, you don't know what a chakra is, check it out under the What Is section. And we like to quote things, and you were my quote for that page. It says, open all the chakras. So shout out to all our Rootwire family that got to hear that screamed all weekend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you are interested in learning how to open all the chakras, you can contact me either through the Project Bring Me to Life website or through Facebook and work with me on a workshop on how to do just that. So we can work on your chakras.
Let's open them all, guys.
Yeah, beautiful. So the last thing I want to say is there is a guest book. Yes, that's it. A guest book. So that's under the contact tab, and if anybody would like to leave a positive message for Project Bring Me to Life or any person who's been on it or is on it, just leave your comment there because we love them. We do love them so much.
And there's a poll. Check out the poll. We're making a walking stick. We want to give things away. Check out that.
Yeah. So fill out the poll. Check out our website and keep watching. Keeping on.
Philemon, how long does the podcast stay up on the website? I've had a couple of people emailing me now saying that they've missed it, but they want to watch it.
It'll be up from now until, who knows, it'll be up there for a really long time, maybe all of eternity.
We'll put the podcast, the live page stays up until next week. And when they'll watch us live, it'll stay there until it updates it next Tuesday. It'll stay under the podcast tab forever because every week we update the podcast tab, so anyone you missed you can check out.
Wonderful.
Watch all of them. Watch all of them.
Yeah, cool. So besides that, the only other thing that I have to say is that love has no fear, no vengeance. I just want to thank everybody again. Thank you, audience, for being part of this and interacting with us and chatting with us. And next week's podcast is going to be Cosmic Village. So check out her new video. And
do it.
Yay, Uche! We love you.
Of times, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the only thing else I have to say is Project Bring Me to Life. Wake up.
We love you.
We love you.